And we're coming to you from Pinehurst, number 6. Mr. Penny Bots.
Yeah, how are you?
Hey, Mr. Benz.
How are you?
Hey, we're doing great. Good luck with this. Hey, I got a little video going. Do you want to impromptu, quick, hey, what does this mean to you kind of thing? Absolutely. Get yourself settled. This is so cool. I'm trying to explain to people that are going to tune in and watch it later on and stuff, that not only is this monumental of it being as a championship and a tournament, but for individuals like ourselves, this is even more historical.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
A level above that some others may never wrap their head around.
Yeah.
That have been planning this. So
Yeah.
I'm thrilled to be out here just to be an ambassador. I didn't make the cut.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm okay with that, though. I'm okay with it because my game, I don't deserve to be out there as far as my game goes. So I made sure I volunteered ahead of time, and so that I was at least going to be here to do. So Ray and I drove down last night. We got here about midnight.
I mean, it's just good that that everybody else is coming and supporting it too, though.
Well, I've been pushing it out to everybody. If you're anywhere near here, or even make the specialty, because it deserves that.
Yeah, and
we all deserve to have each other here to pat each other and cheer each other on.
And that's the kind of thing. So it's kind of sad at the same time when.
Yeah. Sorry, just keep going.
Oh.
We're just talking.
No, yeah. It was for a little bit, it was sad when a lot of people got upset, rightfully so.
Because they've been hanging around picking up our tips and tricks.
Yeah, and been there and done that. So
and then went ahead and did it themselves without really much of a forewarning.
Yeah, so, but then it's at that point, listen, we're all out here for.
And we will never match this platform, ever. No.
And that's the thing that I'm listen, even though you didn't make it, I'm this is just good for everything, for everybody.
This is on and off the field.
Yeah.
And the one message, like I said, for me is the feeling of acceptance that I feel for this, whether I'm on or off the field, or if I'm out here, or whether I'm watching from home. The feeling of acceptance is okay, the golf industry has accepted us.
It's finally, and you're like,
finally.
Oh my God. After
decades.
So many years of just
decades
sitting here trying to do all these tournaments, all these clinics, all these things to get out there and get noticed, and then we finally do, and people are people are telling you, they're I never knew this was
a thing. Nobody knew it. They still don't.
I don't know. I didn't know that there's this many good players. I'm yeah, you don't know. I'm we know it. We try to tell you, but you.
But we can all pat each other on the back and swap each other's trophies around with each other.
Yeah.
But if we can't get the exposure on it, because in a way I'm a little upset with this. This is a championship.
Yeah.
This is a U.S. Open. Why do we not have full coverage? We get an hour of near real-time highlights.
Yeah.
And an hour on Central.
Yeah.
Next year, this has to be part of the championship schedule, media-wise too.
Oh, 100%. And that's right after the British Open ends, and you have nothing to do. I'm why would you not have TV coverage down here to?
Well, because everybody's in Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all over in Europe.
Yeah. Give us 3 or 4 hours. There's literally nothing.
You do see from, I know you didn't make it to Bob Buck's event. I was down there.
At the PA Open?
At the Monroe, Rossmore. Because I'm friends with JFK, really close.
Yeah, no, I don't do that one.
Yeah, that's my support group. I love those people. I go to their picnics. I bring them Coca-Cola cake.
Yeah.
But we had the news, Eyewitness News 7 was there. It was the last segment, 53 seconds long. One sentence from Bob Buck, one sentence from the doc, and one sentence from me. That was it. But they were out there all morning.
And you'd rather talk about some traffic jam that was on 95.
53 seconds we got.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the 53 seconds, because that's 53 seconds of fame that we didn't have.
Yeah.
That's 53 seconds of more people calling me going, hey, did I just see your wife on TV?
But it's always it's just we need more. And
we have to. We have to.
Yeah. And that's...
So so I started, you've seen some of my posts, I'm starting the Adaptive Golf channel. So that's what I'm asking you to do this for. And I'm not sure where the video part of this is even I'll clip out some stuff maybe, but
Yeah.
you know, but I mean, just what is it for you personally? What does this mean?
Like you said, like it means a lot. Like
Oh, geez, how long have you been there? I forgot.
I'm telling everybody, like, oh, we're going to play in this amputee event, this disabled event, whatever, and they take it as like, oh, you're just going and playing in some disabled event. But then when like this, people are like, oh my god, this is like a big thing, and I'm like,
No,
yeah,
it
and I'm
isn't
like-
yet, but
I'm
it's
like-
going to get a lot bigger
and I'm-
real
And
fast.
I'm like, but we've been doing this for so long, and it's like now you see it,
Yeah.
like, and that's, I'm like, I don't think you understand like how many amazing people there are out here to not, you know, and it's like one of those things is like, do I want to play well? Yeah. Would that mean a lot to me to play well? Yeah. But to be out here and just to be inspiration to other people,
Yeah.
and that they can see it, and you know, it's like our mission, our whole mission for all of us that we try to do, that go out there and teach clinics and try to raise awareness. I feel like you can't do this. So now that it's like TV coverage from a major
Event.
biggest golf organization, you're like, oh yeah, now you get it. So now
Yeah.
hopefully more people come out
Yeah.
and do sponsorships and stuff like that, because a lot of people don't.
We don't have the money
You know,
to
and they're
support our
like-
programs, our
Yeah,
own
and I was-
programs.
You know Reggie.
Mhm.
And so I was talking to Reggie. We were doing some adaptive thing up in Philly the other week, and he was there. He's like, you guys must be killing. You guys must be making so much money out there in this disabled golf stuff. I'm like,
There's
it's
no
called-
purse. Is there a purse?
No.
Why isn't there a
I'm
purse?
like, it's called. We get $0. The only money that we get are from like personal sponsorships. So that's a big thing that would mean a lot to me, is if people came out here and be like, oh, these guys are good. They're not just playing in disabled events. They're also playing in like USGA events, and to be like, you know what, you guys should be sponsored by.
So
Titleist
USGA didn't get a title sponsor. They are the title
Yeah.
sponsor.
Account. Yeah, and so they might have a couple.
But I don't understand why. I see. I guess any other or any of the other U.S. Open purse related.
Only the major, not any of the amateur ones.
Right. Got.
Um,
Oh, so this is okay.
So this
See, I
is
wasn't
like,
classifying this as an amateur one because we are world rank golfers.
Yeah,
There's
so
no
it's-
amateur about it.
It's a little of both though. Because,
Yeah, I
mean,
guess that's
for
true.
the people, you know, like Chris, I mean, he's obviously has his professional status for being a golf pro. Chad has his from
Mhm.
celebrity events and playing and stuff like that. But like a lot of the rest of us that don't have sponsors and have anything, and it's like,
Pay our way. We pay to get in. We
yeah,
pay for the hotel. We pay for the travel. We come here. We play. You pay to play.
yeah.
You know.
And
So
they're like, I don't think you get it, because we'll go and play like, I don't know.
I mean, there should be a lodging sponsor. There should be
Yeah,
a
15,
15.
you know, try to get out there to 10. I try to get out there to 10 to 15 events a year. And I'm like, I don't think you understand like how.
It's $1,500 a pop, even
Easy.
easy. But that's with not, and then we don't drink, so that's with no drinking.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's
Cheers, anybody
lodging,
listening?
food,
Yeah,
airfare, or,
Yep.
or like travel,
and also tournament fees.
Yeah.
You know,
So I'm like,
and figure the time and money you put into preparing for the tournaments.
yeah.
I mean, there's just, I think hopefully this will help us in that corporate world to have more of an opportunity for philanthropic partnerships, just like any other major event would,
Yeah, I mean, well, to especially
or major organization
especially
would.
to back some of our events, so that when we go out and you know they show
It's a little easier on our.
So we can, I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you talk to Jason or someone, you're trying to go get a course for a tournament. When
know.
you're doing nationals down in Orlando, I contacted every single golf course.
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
Orlando area.
when Ed dropped the
2 courses got
Oklahoma.
back to me.
Yeah. And nobody gets back
not
to
for
you either.
Jason's. That's for NAGA
Oh, okay.
in October. Out of all the courses, 2 courses got back to me in Florida.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Thankfully, the one that did it like has watched stuff like us, like
Yeah.
have heard about like our people. So they were like, yeah, that'd be great to have
Yeah.
those down.
Sandy Cross said the most amazing thing at Jason's event. She came and officiated the first hole. So she was in making the announcements, announcing everybody on the tee. And she even said it when she got up and spoke. And she said, for 4 years, I've been supporting this event. And for 4 years, I have not seen it. And being here, seeing it, just
Come out and,
blew her away.
yeah, come out and
She
watch
said,
it.
I had no idea I had no idea. We're giving, they're supporting for 4 years. They've been supporting Jason's event.
Yeah.
But they've never actually been out here. And that's why I think this thing is so important, not just for media purposes, but for exposure, not just to the corporate and to the golf industry, but to the health and rehabilitative industries. And look, I mean, getting your golfers back out to golf after an injury or an illness,
it's because it's like one of those things where it's like there's no reason why you can't.
No, there's absolutely no reason except up here.
Yeah.
And it's I think the other reason is that the conditioned bias is cause so much lack of exposure. Don't look, don't stare, don't ask questions. It would be rude. Well, that doesn't get the questions answered, and that makes you look away and not see how amazing some of our people are.
Yeah, and it's funny because I always tell people, I'm like, it's like going to I'll go around to like Disney and walk around and I'll just be standing in a line and I could hear some little kid being like, "Mommy, like what happened?" And she's like, "Well, just ask him."
That is healthy. That's a healthy way to do that,
Yeah,
and
so
that's society's getting better about
she's
that.
Like, if you don't mind, I'm like.
Please, I want to start the conversation.
I don't care. I was like, I'll tell you my story. I was like, I've been doing it. I'm like, this is what I do. I tell people my story. This is not a big deal. If anything, it helps us feel more comfortable with people to be like, oh yeah, this is what happened. But because it's always the first thing for like younger men or women, they're always like, oh, thank you for your service.
That's why I was saying it's a conditioned bias, because as our generation, we were taught, don't look, don't stare, don't ask questions. It would be rude.
Yeah.
Right? So I've been in a clothing store where the kids are playing around in the rack, and one little boy popped his head out of the rack of the clothes, and my hand was reaching for something, and he looked over and he goes, and his head popped back in. Then he went to the other side of the rack, and I could hear Mommy and him talking, and he goes, "Mommy, she's got a funny hand." She goes, no, that's not nice. She never looked up at me, never met eyes with me. Grabbed him by the hand and said, "Come on, let's go." Now, they walk away, I'm invisible, and he didn't get his questions answered. And she didn't even acknowledge that I was standing there. That's all that it takes, is just acknowledgement.
Yeah.
And hopefully this will get us a lot more acknowledgement.
It should. I hope.
That was pretty good. I didn't even have to ask anything. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm just, oh God. Yeah, I did get it. Okay, good.